Minority groups have always had a struggle with having equal rights. The first historically significant event of oppression of minority groups in America started in 1619 when 20 African slaves were taken ashore in the British colonies of Jamestown, Virginia. Then throughout the 17th and 18th century, Africans were taken from their homeland and brought to the American land and were forced to be indentured servants to pick cotton and tobacco. After the Revolutionary War, the new U.S. Constitution tactically acknowledged the institution of slavery and counted each slave as 3/5 of a person for the purpose of taxation and representation in Congress. My partner and I were lucky enough to interview Kalan Haywood, representative out of the 16th District, and we were able to ask him questions on what he thought the 2020 candidates should focus on when talking about civil rights and police brutality.
One of the most diverse districts in Wisconsin, and I think it's also the best district in Wisconsin. I call it the sensational 16th. It has some good, it has a lot of good. I have downtown, I have the Bucks Arena, I have the Deer District, so, everyone loves the Bucks right now, so I'm glad to be the stay away for the Bucks, but I also have some challenging areas in my district, so I'm on the north side of my district. And there's zip codes like 5-206, which are known nationally for incarcerating young black males that look just like me. So you gotta figure out how do you blend this tale of two cities within one district. You have the haves and the have-nots. And people who have access to abundance of resources, investment, capital. You have people who have been deprived of investment, resources, capital, services, and hope. Yeah, when it comes to right issues, someone is gonna fight for what's right, make sure we have civil equality. So I think that's, for me, super important that we look at candidates holistically. Are they someone that just provides lip service to wanting to fix some of these issues, or do they really want to come with solutions? If they're a new candidate who hasn't been in office before, what's their track record? Have they done community engagement around it? Have they been active? Have they been an advocate for it? If they're elected already, what's your reporting history look like? What have you spoken out about? Because sometimes we all pick, like my thing is I focus more on economic development. But I care about the civil issues, I care about mass incarceration, I care about those things. When it came time to support those issues or speak out about it or vote on those things, what did you do? So you may not be the one that's the champion of it, 'cause I don't expect everyone to be the champion of everything. But when it came time for you to step up, did you step up?
Police brutality has been an issue in civil rights since the earliest movements in the United States. It is defined as the unwarranted or excessive use of force on civilians by police officers.
The idea of police brutality and its issues became very much on people's minds in 1963, after years of police abusing their powers and of many years of African Americans being oppressed.
This was just before one of the deadliest riots had occurred in Newark in 1967 after police severely beat black cab driver John Smith. This riot left 26 dead and many injured.
When interviewing Representative Haywood, he gave us his in-depth opinion about this very controversial issue.
Make sure they have that training and making sure they're aware of the area they're working in, make sure that they know the culture, make sure officers also get outside of just patrolling and being police cars and being administrators, get involved in the community. So some community initiative with law enforcement. It's not really the president that doesn't get much involved in that much. I think working with Conyers about the body camera thing is something the president can do. But then it comes down to our state, county, and city elected officials, making sure we have that. We work to make sure officers do better. So those issues that they definitely should care about, and they should be able to advocate for. But there's some things like body cameras they can enforce nationally. But make sure they also work with local government to figure out what do we need. Okay, we want body cameras. Maybe the city can't pay for it, or the town can't pay for it. Yeah. How can the federal government come in and supply the funds to make sure that can happen? So work as a partner and be just connect with the dots.
Not only is Representative Haywood addressing this issue, Democratic Representative from Michigan John Conyers also weighed in on police brutality in the United States.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Brothers and sisters, there have been so many incidents that the root causes that are tied together with social racism that brand too many black citizens as predators and police practices that treat them as potential perpetrators, breeding distrust between law enforcement and communities that they are bound to protect.
The representatives in this video
have had civil rights as one of their key elements in their campaign, as well as in policymaking while in office.
To conclude this video, civil rights and police brutality have always been an issue and will always be an issue in our country. Hopefully the 2020 candidates that are running for president can help and fix these issues that are in our country today.
Kill them!
Let's go! In our bag!